12th of June 2023. This is another one of those rip the band-aid off Skidmarks that I do. And this one is a difficult one for me. It is something that has been bothering me for a long time. And it is fairly my emotional experience of this is fairly the same as I had about Yemen. And I'm talking about the Palestinians and the Gaza Strip and Israelis. Now, the Israelis, they are the darlings of the West. And I don't have a problem with that. Every person chooses its own team which he wants to support. And I don't want to involve myself in the politics that is going on there. And I don't want to involve myself in the history of the whole operation too much. Because I don't have enough information to really make a decent evaluation around the politics. For me, it is about the humanity. Now, I don't care whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Buddhist, whether you go to the Catholic Church, whether you go to the Orthodox Church, whether you go to... I don't care about those things. I'm talking about morality. Because morality does not depend on any of these things that I've now mentioned. Decency, common sense, humanity. That is what it's about for me. Now, the Israelis has got a massive military machine. There's no doubt about that. And it all thanks to the Americans. Plus Israeli brains, of course. They are damn good. And they have developed their own systems and shit also. But the point is, for almost as long as I know, that conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians was there. And nowhere, never, was there any person, any political figure from the West that actually invested time and effort to get a solution for that problem. You cannot wish the Palestinians away. That will not happen. They are there. And they are on traditional Palestinian land. And I don't want to discuss how Israel managed to be created on that land. That is in the history books and it's documented well. The thing that really makes me fucking angry is the fact that the Israelis are forever pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing the Palestinians. Now people say, yeah, but look at the youngsters as militant and all that. I'm an Afrikaner. I have a good knowledge of what happened in my own country when the Brits started pushing the Boere, and they pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until it exploded. And General de Wet is actually the father of terrorism. The Boere started this thing of small, highly mobile little groups terrorizing that mighty 600,000 strong English military machine. And they were extremely effective. But now, back to Israel. Every day you hear about atrocities in that area. And the Western backing makes the Israelis feel invincible. And they use their force as they wish, with nobody calling them out on it. Look at this image. I'm a guy that has got a vivid imagination. And when I see an image, I see a story immediately, basically. Look at this little girl over the rubble in Gaza. Look at that little girl looking down on that rubble there. Try and imagine for a moment what is going through her mind. Try and imagine that. Then look at this image of this woman preparing food for her family. She's not swimming in money. She's not swimming in luxury. It's a simple woman trying to make a living. That's what it is. A human being trying to make a living. And then you look at this. The Israeli occupation forces have demolished 136 Palestinian-owned houses in the West Bank since the beginning of 2023. The beginning of 2023. 236 homes demolished. Now the West has got a history of this destruction. They did it to Libya, they did it to Iraq, they did it to Afghanistan, they did it to Yemen, they did it to Kosovo. They do it wherever they go. This is what they do. Destroy, destruct. That's what they do. And if you're a decent human being, I don't care from what nationality or what religion or what, if you are a decent human being, you cannot condone this. Look at this. Israeli occupation forces working on the demolition of a Palestinian-owned house in Ramallah city last night. Demolition of a Palestinian-owned house. Every man looking at this video with a family will know that he would never accept this being done to his house. His house! And then we have this. Israeli occupation forces detain a Palestinian child from Jerusalem. A child. This is what these forces do. This is what the Israelis do. Children. And look at this. 5 Palestinian families are homeless now that the Israeli occupation forces have demolished their houses in Jerusalem. Look at that. Destroying those people's homes. And then you have this. Israeli colonial settlers vandalized Palestinian-owned vehicles in Burqa, northwest of Nablus. The Jews, Israelis, they're just destroying. That's all they do. But they shit themselves if anybody touches anything of them. Then there's a hell of an outcry in the press and on the TVs and everywhere. Look at this. Look at that. That little girl was killed by Israelis. So they kill children. There is the funeral of that girl. Funeral of a young Palestinian kid, Muhammad, it's not a girl, it's a boy apparently. Kid, Muhammad Tamimi, 2 years old, who was killed by the Israeli occupation forces near Ramallah. 2-year-old, killed by soldiers. What fucking type of soldiers is that? Look at this. Israeli occupation authorities force a Jerusalemite family to self-demolish their own home. How's that? How is that? Then we have this. Israeli occupation forces detained 3 Palestinian youths at a military checkpoint And if you ask them about it, they'll give you a list of reasons why they've arrested them. But ask yourself, if you had to grow up in that territory and see your family's home destroyed, your family's orchards destroyed, your family's land taken and invaded, will you not be rebellious? Think about that. And we have this. Dozens suffocate, including children, due to inhaling large amounts of toxic tear gas during an Israeli military raid in Jalub, south of Nablus. Look at that image. Look at those children. That is children. And we have this. Israeli occupation forces bring down a Palestinian-owned house south of Bethlehem. Again, destroy the people's homes. And we have this. Israeli occupation vandalized Palestinian-owned property in Nur Shams. What the hell is this? This is terrorism. And this is just to lighten the mood. Good morning from the capital of Palestine. There are people living there that just want to live in peace. But no, the Israelis keep on pushing. And then we have this. Palestinian-owned vehicles torched by Israeli settlers near Ramallah. Torched by Israeli settlers. But that Israeli settlers are protected by a massive bloody army. And another lighter note. Gaza's apricot season. And that Israelis want to steal all of this also. Because that is what they do. You know, I am absolutely disgusted about what's happening here. And now I've got a warning for the Israelis. And they better listen. The Arab world has been terrorized by the West for a long time. And I'm going to give you some headlines to think about and digest. You, Israelis, digest it and go and sit quietly under an olive tree and think. Saudi and Iran made peace. Iran and Iraq is making peace. Iran and Afghanistan is sorting their issues out. Syria, you remember Syria, that little country there on the other side, that you've been bombing also and blowing to pieces and destroying homes and destroying everything and just fly in there and bomb whatever you want. Syria is back in the Arab League. If you go down to the Emirates and you look, you will see that the Arab world is busy sorting their problems out, and they're getting together and they're getting their act together. And you have got a big fucking mouth about what you want to do to Iran. 10 years back, you had opportunity to do things to Iran. Now you've got a problem. Iran can look after themselves. Iran no longer need to worry about Saudi supporting you. The Arab world is uniting. The war in Ukraine has proven that the Iranians are making excellent ammunition. They have just revealed their first hypersonic missiles. You think you're going to be protected by your Iron Dome. You know you won't be protected against the hypersonic missiles. The Americans, your guard dog, are in deep trouble. They are basically bankrupt. They're out of ammunition. You must just understand one thing. If the Arab world unites against you, you are going to evaporate. You may think you've got an answer for whatever they can offer. You might have an answer, but you don't have the numbers. That's your biggest problem. Plus, you don't have the money. Yeah, you're getting a lot of money from the States. The States is bankrupt. The Arabs have got their own money. And there's two dark horses in the race here. Russia, which is already in Syria and has warned you about bombing Syria. They've warned you. Russia's been nice to you. Gentlemen. And China. China feels fuck all for you. So, don't bluff yourself. You are a little island in the Middle East. And your help is far away from you. So you better get your act together, think about it, stand up from under that olive tree there when you're sitting and thinking about this, and start working on some process and show the Arabs you want to be a good neighbor. You don't understand how deep the hatred is for you. Hatred fueled by shit like this. Look at that. Palestinian kid is punched in the mouth by an Israeli soldier. What type of people are you that kill children, hit children in the face? Small children. What are you? Barbarians. Common decency. Any decent man, a decent man, will not hit a child in the face. A man that hits a child in the face is a barbarian and should be wiped out. But your time is up. You do not have another 20 years to decide whether you're going to stop your shit. You have got a short timeline. So my suggestion to you Israelis is sit down, do introspection, and start working out a plan to show the Arabs and the Palestinians that you want to be a good neighbor. Because if you do not do that, you are going to be the enemy of the Arab world. Not the enemy of the Palestinians, not the enemy of the Syrians. The enemy of the Palestinians, the Syrians, the Iraqis, the Iranians, the Saudis, the Egyptians. You think you can survive against that? Good luck. And don't even think about your nuclear shit that you've got there hidden in your bunkers that you got from your chummies in Washington. Don't think about those things. All you will achieve if you start looking at that crap, you'll get yourself wiped out quicker. So, I'm going to give you a reminder. That is a 2-year-old boy killed by your soldiers. That is Palestinian home vandalized by your soldiers. That is Palestinian houses destroyed by you. Think about this. Think. This is not decent. Common decency. That's it. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. And if you are pissed off about what I've said, throw the comments. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, decent human beings do not do this. The Nazis in the Ukraine did the same thing to the Russians in the Donbass. And today they are paying for it. They are paying for what they did. For 8 years they've been bombing the Russians in the Donbass. Civilians. Destroying their homes like you are doing to the Palestinians. Killing children. Killing old people. Killing civilians. Like you do there in Israel. Same thing. You're doing the same thing. You are doing what Zelensky and his bunch of cretins did in the Ukraine. Now you've got to ask yourself, the same way that Putin decided it is enough, this brutalizing of the Russians in the Donbass, the same thing is going to happen in your part of the world. The Arabs are going to decide it is enough. What you are doing to the Palestinians is not right. Think about that. Have a great evening.